Right, there we go. Happy days. All good, Donncha's ready to go?
Yes, all ready to go, Tommy. Yeah. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, be good. Right. Listen, welcome along to the Offload podcast, of course, sponsored by 15 Kings, who've been brilliant sponsors to us so far. Dunners, we're going to go through a load of text messages. We have a load of text messages from people online who are asking you what brand of tan, whatever else.
Oh, hey.
So, hey, we'll get through. But any news?
No news. Actually, I'm glad we're doing a few of the viewers' questions or listeners' questions, because we always say it and we never really do it. So we don't.
You are such a liar. We were just talking off camera a minute ago. To hell with these bloody questions.
Do you know what
we have to do these for?
I'm opposed to the questions. This is a rugby podcast. Let's keep it to rugby. Otherwise, we're chatting about all stuff we don't even know about. I've one for you, Tommy. Here's one now. Viewer's question or listener's question. Donncha from Cork. I have a question for you. Etiquette when it comes to getting fuel in the garage. So you pull in to get fuel, you fill up your tank. Do you then drive your car over to kind of like one of the parking areas and go in and pay? Or do you leg it in and pay knowing that you're probably holding up a pump?
100% stay where I was. Walk in, nice and easy, go get myself a nice Americano. If I'm wanting to treat myself, go over to the deli counter, chicken fillet roll.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the problem with this, Stunners, is because I spend a lot of time in the Apple Greens and all other petrol stations, whatever.
There you go, well done you.
But the problem is, that's where you're prime for a potholing. See, when you pull into that Apple Green, like, some days if I'm feeling a bit tired, I'm straight in, pay, straight out again. Some days I'm feeling a bit hungry, go off, get myself the chicken roll. But the problem is when you're in that queue, there's a lot of second glances. You know, people walk by, is that your man who made a gobshite of himself in the telly today? And then you're on the queue. And actually, this happened to me last week. I was standing there waiting for my breakfast roll, and they're there, you know, normal or spicy? Spicy, please.
Spicy, of course.
Lettuce, tomato, bit of mayo. And the woman
breakfast of champions.
She wouldn't even look at me, right?
Wow.
So she was there with the husband, and she, like, I was kind of giving the nod, saying hello to the husband, and the wife wouldn't look at me. I was like, what's going on here?
I'm losing this, fella. I'm losing this.
Goes,
you're going to be lashing on.
You are some gobshite this morning. I was like, jeez. Oh, why? What's going on? And the woman then turns, you are very mean to Alan. Honestly, I don't know how he puts up with it.
Amazing.
I couldn't even remember. I think I was slagging him off with the meatballs and the food or something. But that's where you're primed to hear what people really think.
Sorry, so, while all this is going on, you're still blocking up a petrol pump or a diesel pump or whatever fuel it is.
But like these 16 pumps, like there's plenty of room.
I know. Hold on. What about if you're down the local place where there's maybe 4, 2 each side?
Well, I wouldn't be getting the chicken roll then.
So it's quicker. So you're saying it's totally, if you're paying, it's okay. I think personally, I always feel bad if I run in. You know what I mean? Even if there isn't a car behind me. But then if I park, I feel like a bit of a loser that I didn't back myself. I can't believe
that even enters your head.
It does.
So you fill up, hop back into the car. Are you not worried that the ding dong bell will come on and say, pump number 3?
Pump 4, he's clear off.
Please pay for
that wouldn't be a bad call either. Yeah. Things like this come to my head. The other day I was in after, I've started doing a bit of hot yoga, right?
Can we pretend this is a viewer's question? Right, okay.
Okay, this is from Donna in Cork, who does hot yoga. But basically, you know the way if you brought Flow by Bowe or any shampoo into the dressing room, it's totally fine for me to say gives a squirt.
Oh yeah, well that's change room crack as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so that
like,
doesn't
that would have been us.
Yeah. It doesn't exist in the real world, is what I'm asking. Can I ask you for shampoo? If we don't really know each other, but we did a class together.
Well, certainly if it's Donna who's concerned about
it. Leading to complaints. What's he doing in there again?
Sorry, anyone any shampoo?
Sorry, hon. Any chance of some conditioner? You'd never scrub my arse for me, would you? All right,
give us the layout of the change.
Don't worry, it's done. I'm not going to ask anyone. I'm going to shower at home.
Are you in cubicles with this?
No. There's a big kind of communal one.
Oh, is there? Right.
Yeah.
And you're all sweaty from hot yoga.
You're boiling. Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, it's probably time. I always think I should pack something, but I never really do. You know that way, because I know I need another shower in about 40 minutes time anyway.
Yeah,
because
I'd be thinking, what's the point in the shower at that stage?
It's just purely to cool you down.
What? So obviously you've asked somebody for the shampoo. Did they give you a look?
No, I didn't ask anyone, but I really wanted to. And then I caught myself. You know what I mean? And I stopped myself, and then I was there. Geez, back yourself, man. I was kind of disappointed with myself. So it's been itching me all day. I mean, it's been itching my friend Donna all day. She really wanted to make a point about it.
Thank you, Donna. Listen, sending your message in to us is probably not the right person. You need to get in touch with the guards.
I do apologise.
What's he doing in here? Right, let's get on to a couple of questions. We'll start off. We did ask for some random questions, so we do have a couple here. Well, this is rugby. Best and worst nicknames on the team, and why did the player get given the nickname? This is from, well, I won't go through all the names. Crazy about Capals. That's a horse, isn't it?
Donna and Cork again. We're going all out with these viewer questions. Nicknames were good, and you went by your nickname, didn't they?
Dors and J-Mo and Drico. I had one, and I feel bad because I'm going to say a Trimby again, right? But Trimby's always up for a bit of slag, and Andrew Trimble.
That's his role, the butt of joke.
Trimby used to be called the Dragon. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it's because when he had kind of long hair at the back, it kind of looked like the back of a dragon's kind of tail, right. So it was like jaggedy. So I don't know, for some reason we said if you looked at him sideways he looked like a dragon, right? But Trimby tells a story about how Drico, whenever he was captain in the Six Nations, and remember you'd have the dinners after, so the captains would have to sit beside each other at the top table. So Drico used to sit beside Mike Blair, the captain for Scotland. And I think Mike Blair was going on how he's called Blade.
Yes, he said that in the Lions tour.
Nicknamed himself Blade.
He's good crack.
One of the other Scottish wingers called themselves Knight. Like, you can't call yourself
You can't give yourself a nickname. Absolutely no way. If that was the case, I'd be the Don.
You should be the Don. That's a good one.
There we go. I get a dart shirt with the Don on it.
And you've got the tan like the Don over in America as well. You're perfect.
Easy now. Go on.
So anyway, Drico was sitting beside him and they were talking about nicknames, and Mike Blair said to him, is there any good nicknames in your squad? So Drico looked at him and goes, well, Andrew Trimble, they call him the Dragon. And they were like, why is that? He goes, because he's really bad breath.
Yes, done.
He thought that was why he was called Dragon, nothing to do with him looking like it. And I remember there was a guy in our old school team called Bungalow. No upstairs.
Very good.
Standard,
There's the standard ones.
Bungo,
for some reason, I always thought Frankie Sheen looked like a hippo. Like, he has the features of a hippo. Actually, Frankie he's turning 50, and I got him a present the other. I was in a toy shop the other day and I saw something. I was there. I'm gonna get that just in case.
Do you remember the old hippo money boxes?
Isn't he the head of Frankie? No, Frankie, if you're watching, this is your present. I will get it to you at some point. Hopefully you'll have a party or something.
Listen, if anything says the Pendulum Summit.
There you go. All this fella's short is sweating into a thing of wings, and it's Frankie Sheen. But then he came up with a better nickname for me. He called me Zebra, because all it really is a boring donkey. It's a black and white boring donkey. He's there. There's nothing to you.
I thought you're a more fun donkey.
Yeah, exactly. He's there. There he is, black and white, and a donkey.
Good stuff. Right, so that's that question. Let's keep rattling through. What's the biggest difference in your era of rugby compared to now for the players, do you think?
Fun.
I agree.
100%.
Fun.
We'd laugh.
Like, you were a bit earlier than me, but there was that little bit of amateurness.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? Like, towards the end of my career and your career, like, it was getting a bit boring. It was so serious. Social media ruined it.
I don't know that social media probably is also as well the responsibilities to sponsors, and you know what I mean. It all just got way more serious, didn't it? All of a sudden, it got really like Tommy. We'd a laugh,
Professionalism. The professional, like having to fly out to the match, play the game, and fly straight back. No, like I used to love going to Glasgow and Cardiff and getting to stay on and have a night in the piss. The crack was mighty. Do you know what I mean? There was none of that. It was all like get back home to your bed and have a good sleep. Boring.
I remember my job, a few of us strings as well, was getting fellas back for. Remember, it was called a recovery session, but all it really was get everyone back home. You know that way. So there'd be like a recovery session at 8 a.m, and it was ridiculous. And you'd honestly have lads over your shoulder leaving coppers, going, "Come on, man, you're on in 40 minutes for a pool session." They're like, "Put me down."
Has Cale and Doris, have these young lads even been to Coppers? Do you even know what that is anymore? Like, imagine the Irish team going to Coppers now. There'd be chaos.
Yeah. No, I've no doubt they have their fun within it, but it was...
Of course, they do.
But as well, Tommy, I feel, look, you were different, but I believe we were allowed to make errors and make mistakes and learn from them, whereas now it's a conveyor belt. Sorry, I hate picking out one or two players, but like, this summer, man, we couldn't have celebrated Kieran Frawley anymore. And now the conversation around the 10s is all about two other... You know what I mean? It's just... It's so ruthless now. You know,
fickle. Yeah, it really is.
It's tough. I swear, I'd hate to be starting out now. I'm so appreciative of the group we had at the time we had too, where it could actually be a laugh. Yeah. And you could... You know what I mean? You could make mistakes.
Totally. Like, I remember my early days, I was nowhere near good enough, you know, and they kind of gave you that bit of rein to have a couple of bad games. But I suppose, I don't know, maybe the strength and depth wasn't as much, but you're just right. And the physicality now, it definitely has kicked up a notch as well with strength, condition, everything else. But fun, I think, sums that one up. There you go,
yes,
Tom.
Exactly. Have a laugh, lads, will you?
Mandoline, what sports would you be playing if rugby didn't exist?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I get slagged over this, don't I? I found the one position in the one sport that I could not only be really good at, but just play. Like, you know what I mean? Head between two asses, push like you can, you know what I mean? And that's it. Like, I remember Keith Earls having a fight with me because we played soccer one day, and he was genuinely appalled with how bad at playing soccer I was. He wouldn't chat to me for 2 days, and I remember getting odd back at him. I was there like, why do you think I'd be good at that? And he's there like, because we're professional athletes, man. You know what I mean? Like,
are you awful? Are you honestly, like, could you play Gaelic? Did you ever play Gaelic football? Did you ever play football?
I never played really hurling, but I wouldn't have the kind of skill set for that. Yeah, no. Like, you know the way everyone's into paddle at the moment? I'm not taking that on just for pure, like, I'll fresh air everything there, end up wrapped up in the net. You know what I mean? And
well, I was going to say, I would love... And now this is so sad, but I actually would love to be a good tennis player. I'm crap at tennis, and I can't play it anymore because my elbow's wrecked from playing rugby. But I kind of think if I never played rugby, I kind of think I wouldn't have been very good, but I definitely think that would have been a sport I would have liked to play. Kind of sociable as well.
100%. Do you know, I passed them an awful lot playing a fair bit of tennis. Dominic Crotty, who used to play with Munster, and Frank Murphy plays, and he's meant to be really good. Yeah, really decent, really good tennis player. But you're right, you'd be envious of them, wouldn't you? That you can go there and have a laugh and play well and have a ball.
And it's a sport that people, I kind of see, there's a tennis club close by as well, where like you can play it to whatever age.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're dressed up and they're having the crack, and they move like a whole... like metre and a half to the right, a metre and a half to the left, playing doubles. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. Great. The better you get, the easier it is.
Exactly. Slow motion tennis. I'm all for that. That actually is your sport, Dunners. Right, there we go. That's another one. Favourite test jersey you've ever played against? Any team jersey that you really liked?
Ooh, they're all fairly...
Any team at all?
Yeah, I suppose. I told you before about that Fiji one. I think that's quite special.
I know, I missed out having a Fiji jersey. Love that.
Just that they personalised it as well. What about you? Anything, one stand out?
I had it's not test jersey, but with the Lions. Whenever I was growing up, I had my dad, I think, bought me a Stormers jersey, and I wore this Stormers jersey every day of the week. It was the only rugby jersey, football jersey I ever had as a kid, really. And then getting to play against the Stormers, and I was able to swap for that jersey, and that was one that definitely treasure.
I love that you were so giddy for that swap, and there's the Stormers guy, kind of nearly going, "Oh my God, he's coming at me with a Lions jersey." You know what I mean?
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, exactly. But I couldn't wait to get that the Stormers jersey as well.
Yeah,
class.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot with them.
As the one I had when I was a kid.
Yeah. I haven't done a whole lot with him. I see Pete posted on his social media that he's put in a real fancy cabinet. I have a chair.
Was he doing
corner.
microwavable meals out of that cabinet as well?
Pete, is this a cry for help, fella? Blink twice if you need, need an intervention.
I mean, come on, Pete. Honestly, talk about the nutrition. Oh no. Nutrition in just 30 seconds.
It's 30 seconds. Brilliant. Good on him. We can't select Tommy. We'd be dancing for it too. Good on you, Pete. Take him
Hell
off.
Of a cabinet as well, Pete. I would have thought he would have made it himself. But
of course he did. Out of one piece of wood that he chisels with his own arms.
The lawnmower over it.
There you go.
Right, next one. People working. Here's a quirky one. Right, Lily. People working in a toll booth, how do they get to and from work? Do they have to drive to the nearest exit, turn around when going home?
Oh my God, I never thought of that. How do they get there? Sorry, to the left of it, isn't there a big building? No? Maybe
there is, but how do you turn around? You have to obviously go all the way down to the next exit, turn around, pay the toll and go back again.
Or maybe you can just do a U-turn in there and you never really need to pay the toll.
But the offices aren't in the middle. The offices are on the outside. So how did they get across?
But there's probably one way in, is there? Jeez, this is
the
complicated.
Car. And do they get free toll? That's an interesting one, Lily. Fair play.
Yeah. She's gazumped the two of us. We're the ball like this. Lily, can we borrow some shampoo?
That's next week. Lily, I'm going to guess that...
Good question. Anyone in the tolls, leave us know.
Yeah, let us know, exactly. Turn up one side, finish the day, drive. Oh, that's a job. Fair play to those people, because that must be horrific. I have to deal with people cranky.
Rugby in this few minutes.
Okay, right, sorry. Let me see.
Any chance?
Oh, here's one for rugby, right? How do lads prep if they have to cover different positions? For example, second row, back row, wing, fullback, set plays, etc.
Good question. Oh, fine. We're getting onto it. I don't think anyone's nailed it as well as South Africa and Razzie. You know the way, just looking at how they work that 7-1.
Oh, man. Give it a rest, Razzie.
No one gives... It's not getting enough credit. And it is incredible coaching.
That's easy because they don't need to prep because they just have to play... Because they have 7 forwards on the bench. So if you come on, you'll be playing the position you always play. What about... if you are there and you have to cover the back row, how do you know the line-out plays?
Well, you practice them within the session and you ask for extra reps if you need the time. You know, and especially within the kind of captain's role, maybe one of the coaches might go, worst case scenario, we have to put you into 6, what happens here? Or this happens. You do different...
And is there a difference between 4 and 5? So if you're down to cover 4, but...
Oh, there is in the lineouts, honestly, I would have kind of jumped at 2, and there's probably less options there within it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ball off 2 isn't great, but then for different lineouts, you need to move to different spots, so you need to know a few of them. Do you know who's incredible and doesn't get half enough credit? John Hayes. John Hayes kind of pretty much knew everyone's role, and
he's a tight head.
Yeah,
do you not just have to pick you up?
Thank God he was there to pick you up. But he was also really smart, man. He could, there was times I was blagging at Paul, he'd be there to me, do you know what you're at in this line out? And I'd be there like this, I just don't want the row now. I do, of course, yeah. And then make a dog's dinner of it. Whereas Hayes would at least give you a nudge and push you into the spot.
Would he? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great for that. And great for tipping off.
With the backs, it was hard. Because so you'd have, say, a scrum half, an out half on the bench, and then one other player to cover both centres, both wings, and full back. So you'd have to know a lot of detail, a lot of plays, a lot of roles. Now, well, I suppose, yeah, the plays, particularly when the likes of Joe came in or Merv had like a set piece. So like, remember we were talking about Merv Murphy last week, video analyst. He would have a play and it might be just tailored towards a line out on the opposition 22 on the right hand side. It might not be on the left hand side.
Yeah.
So, and literally everything would be tailored around trying to pinpoint one player, one area. And if you were a millimeter off, it could disrupt the whole thing. So if you came off the bench second half and you got the line wrong and you and Dricko run into the same hole or whatever else, it was a disaster. So there is this, but it's like, and the problem is the players are only allowed a certain amount of time on the pitch during the week. So you can't actually ask for so many reps.
No, you can't.
You're just told you just have to go do your video analysis and just know where you got to be.
Yeah, 100%. And look, loads goes on that people don't know. Like the amount of lineouts we've done in halls that you've never really gone up on, but you just walk it and map it and just kind of chat about different little things. Where's the cue? Dunners, you got to get long in that ruck because that stops the fold and different things like this. There's a lot
I've never seen Joe Schmidt more psycho than those walkthroughs.
Yeah, okay,
did you ever do? You did?
No,
like,
no. Thank God.
Honestly,
I would have been sweating.
We would have been just in one, like not even the biggest room, and you were all bunched up, and he's like, right, line out. So we're all set up, and like if you're not down, crouched, going over a ruck, if you're not with your hands up, looking as if you're going to get the ball, and this is us just walking at no pace, passing and stuff. It was like animation. So if you do it in here, you'll do it out on the pitch when you're running.
Amazing. Rob Penny used to have a kind of like a map, a pitch, and you had like your Subbuteo clip, you know what I mean? So you're number 4, and he'd go, okay, we're running this play, show me where you are on phase 2, and everyone would have to put their thing down on the thing, and then there'd be like, Dunners, are you sure? You're there, but at least you're able to kind of talk through it a little bit more. And like I'm going back to it, but looking at that documentary about South Africa, they were using PlayStation remote controls. So they were actually playing games of putting themselves in the spot. So
no way.
Yeah, they would kind of, it was with Felix and they had the controllers to make sure they're in the same spot. Like
the players would.
Yeah, the players were playing like PlayStation on
the big screen.
On the big screen to do it that exactly kind of mapping. Like Tommy, I'm going to say it, but they don't get the credit they deserve. You watching that doc and him having the chat about with Chelsea and Colby about going in 9 if they were stuck, and like him saying like this is a big risk, you know what I mean, and like looking him in the whites of the eye. If you're there for the game, can we count on you? Like, you know what I mean? It's incredible.
Listen, he's turned South African rugby round, really, himself.
I think he's changed the game. But no one is giving them the respect they deserve about it.
I don't know, Dunners. I think he's very highly respected.
I don't believe so. I think everyone puts down South Africa the whole time and just gives the brawn. It's all brawn. It's all run over you. That South African team, they won the last World Cup by outwitting everyone. They were smart.
And 2 World Cups. They've won 2 World Cups. And to do a 7-1 split, like Razzie with the water bottle coming out during the Lions. Yeah. Like, he is incredible. But I do think he is seen. Like, people, like, look at Jack Nienaber. He's come over to Leinster, completely changed the style of rugby they're playing. They beat La Rochelle. They look like they're comfortably going to get all the way through to the final the way the knockout rounds are going.
They got a lovely side of the draw, didn't they? I mean,
typical.
Really.
Typical.
You know what I mean?
Well, listen.
If Leinster could do draws, they'd be on the handy side.
It is handy. We'll get into that. But you have all the French teams on the other side. Jeez, they're delighted with themselves. And of course, Munster and Ulster get landed with them.
Right, come on. Tommy, hold on. Before that, what about Ulster? All right, go on with the listeners' questions. No.
Listeners one. Podcast. Okay, right. We'll do two more, right? Weirdest, most random place you got recognised. Anywhere. There's one for a listener where you loved getting recognised. Oh, Donncha, go Cal.
No, do you know what? I had a bad one. I had a bad one. I'd say it's probably about 6 months ago now. Sorry, I'm after taking out my headphones here. But about 6 months ago, I went to... Where does this thing go? Sorry. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I knocked out my headphones. Apologies.
You're all right. Good.
I had to go to a removal But in this funeral home, there was 2 removals on at the same time, and they were in different rooms. And I went in to the wrong one. I didn't know this person, and I'd started in the queue, and then I'd kind of realised I don't know anyone here, and I saw people that were coming in that I knew, passing the door and going on to the far door down the end, and then I was in this horrible position where I was there. What do I do here? Like, if I leave, maybe someone kind of goes, "Was that Donncha leaving in the middle of the removal?" So then I was thinking, you know what I mean? It's all respect, really, isn't it? Yeah, like,
I mean, I honestly can't believe. Like, I mean, that's a desperate one. But like, how you didn't get spotted every week in the full Irish hidden cameras?
You don't let go on that, to be fair. You love that slag.
Irish. If you haven't watched that on television, make sure get on YouTube and
Do
watch Donncha
it's on the player, Tommy. It's on the player.
On RTE, dressed as a doctor. He's 6'6". He's on Ireland's Fittest Family. He's got nearly 100 caps for his country. Let's just stick him in a nurse's outfit and a moustache, and no one will have a clue who he is. Oh, for God's sake.
If you're wondering, I did pay my respects anyway at that removal. I just thought no harm. And I was thinking in the middle of it, no one knows whether I knew the person or not. You know what I mean?
Sorry, like, I only jumped over that. Sorry.
Only 50% of us know. So they're probably always thinking, you know what, I'm just picking, what was the tie with Tommy and Dunners? You know what I mean? How did Donncha know Tommy? I didn't know him at all. I just went into the wrong queue. Shocking. I was there. I actually need to go to confession over that or something. Because I don't know. Like,
so you went to the wrong queue.
I went to the wrong removal, Tommy. I
was too busy googling the breakfast. You're in the camera show.
Oh, the viewers' questions, the listeners' questions. Go on. Where does place they've spotted you, Bowe?
Oh no, I don't even have one, but I love that. I love that. Like, you've done a cook, and Darren Garrity, like, he's fucking, excuse my language, host Dancing with the Stars. No one will recognise her at all. Here, we might have to cut this bit out, but tell us, was there not somebody who was on the show as well who got recognised? Do you remember? And they were meeting somebody shouldn't be meeting.
Yeah. That happened. Myself and Carol were filming one day out in Dublin Zoo, and there was someone on a date that shouldn't have been on a date. And with everything on it, you have to sign, you have to give your
whatever.
Yeah, you have to give your approval. But this person was pure edgy because they were in the back of a shot, so their face isn't on it. But they were like, they were on a date they shouldn't have been on, and they were like, is there any chance you could lose that bit of footage? I was there, what's going on? Poor old Carl Mullen had to deal with it. I was too busy kind of going to get out of it.
Can you imagine? Imagine out on a date you shouldn't be on, and all of a sudden they appear on the back of that show.
There we are.
Very good, very good. Okay, one more question. We've got this from a lot of people. Weirdest pre-game rituals you have witnessed, or if you do have a pre-game superstition?
I look, some people slag me for being superstitious. I didn't think I was. I like to be prepared. So
did you have a routine? Is there a difference between routine and superstition?
Exactly. Yeah,
I agree.
I used to wear a pair of brand new white socks under my socks.
That's not routine. That's superstition.
Is that superstition? I remember reading.
So brand new. What do you mean, like
brand new? You know, that kind of nice feel off them. But you know, when you put
soft feel.
Yeah.
Would you go buy a new pair, or would you just get them from the kit man?
Oh, to be fair, Ral'd sort you out every now and again. Yeah. But most of the time you're buying them, aren't you? Because you're wearing the shin guards, right? And did you wear shin guards?
What are you wearing shin guards for?
Oh, man, you have to wear shin guards front 5, no?
I don't think
you wouldn't believe
the front 5 all wear shin guards.
Mullen, man, is full of friendly fire, just getting boots on the shin.
Listen, if I was in there, I'd have shin guards on up to the knee. Like, I'd have full knee guards.
Out like one of those fencers, you know.
I'd have steel toe cap boots on so no one could stand on my toe. Cause that is the worst. Right, so you had white socks, shin guards, right?
Yeah, and then on with your either club socks or country socks if you were lucky enough. What about you?
did you wear lucky pants? I have to ask. Sorry.
Hey,
Have to
well
ask.
on Tommy Hawk.
But did you have the same reds ones every week?
I had the
like,
same red
actually?
ones. I again like that. They just fell in and became the go. I wore those probably 2 more times after it, and I know this sounds nuts, but I nearly had to transition them out. You know what I mean? So then I started wearing different jocks, and then I would start wearing them to see are they comfortable in training and stuff. I never wanted a surprise on match day, if you know what I mean.
No.
Wearing
No,
a pair of jocks that were crammed up my arse, or that, you know what I mean. You remember in school where your boxers came out below your shorts?
I used to wear those big flary boxers. I mean, the old cameras, if they had cameras all over the pitch back then, would have got an awful eyeful.
Oh, wait, Tommy Bowe, look at him.
I remember though meeting a sports psychologist early on in my career, and him telling me you need routine, you need like superstitions. So you kind of think like, put your left sock on first, right sock then, left boot, right boot. You know, get yourself into this routine. So every week, whether you're playing the Dragons or you're playing a World Cup final, it doesn't matter. But he was talking to me. I'd forget. I'd forget my gum shield one week. I'd forget. So I turned up, I remember early days, with I'd literally a left molded boot and a right studded boot.
Yeah.
Then the
I'm
following
not surprised
week,
with that.
I turned up at Queen's because I was playing for Queen's University at the time, and the coach said to me, like, you're our professional player from Ulster. And I turned up with a left studded boot and a left mouldy boot down in Ballina. And someone had to go to the Lost and Found and find me a spare boot for me to play in.
But there's been plenty of our teammates that have done it and worn them rather than put their hand up and gone, lads, I've made a dog's dinner of this. The shame of going, packed 2 lefties, or you know what I mean? They're there.
I used to have to bring 2 pairs of boots. That was the only way around it.
Yeah.
But I was a bit like you. I always had routine. I always used to try and like count back from kickoff. So if kickoff was at 3:00, my routine would start at say 1:00. So I'd try and have a 40-minute like pre-match meal, 40-minute nap, have my bag packed, and then like give a certain period of time to get to the game, whatever else.
I even had that from as far out as school or playing youth rugby. I used to have a little rule for myself that I would have my gear bag packed for rugby and ready to go, everything, like my tracksuit or whatever I was wearing for it, before the first break of the Late Late Show. Before it starts, and then bed at the first break of the Late Late Show. And,
no way.
Yeah. Gethin Jenkins, he was a good
good
guy for crawling into the cot good and early with a bit of a routine for match night.
But people say that about you, Dunners, like, oh, the Joker. But you lived for routine. Like, if you nearly had checked off all your list, then watch out, because the crack was mighty. But you did live by it.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, then small little things become your routine. Like, I remember people used to go nuts with you because there would be rugby on. Maybe it could have been the Irish game or it could have been a club game. And what was the name of that? No Likey, No Lighty. Remember that dating show? That someone would just...
Ray Foley did the Irish version. It was unbelievable. Take me out.
Take me out.
I'm Fiona from Cavan.
To be like, hi, I'm
Donncha
from Cork. And all you hear is like, boom, 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 boom. And we used to all be there praying for a blackout for some young fella. We were there black about. But I remember being like, oh yeah, I'd go down and watch the first half and take me out now with the lads and have a bit of crack. But it became part of it.
Do you remember California?
Oh.
That used to be on a Friday night before match as well. I loved it.
But isn't it mad? I know, because the day of the game is, honestly, it's horrible, isn't it? You're just trying to pass the time. I used to watch an awful lot of David Attenborough shows. You know, those like Human Planet and Earth and different ones like that.
I love those shows. But it's just simple background television. Just get me through the day. The nerves.
Yeah.
And exactly like you say, have the bag packed. Yeah, and then I just couldn't wait to get to, say, 3 hours or whatever it was out from kickoff so I could start my routine. Yeah. You're just counting down the minutes until I can get to my routine, and then I know I'm comfortable then.
There was far worse than us though. Rob Kearney, and Simon Easterby. They would hand back a room in better condition than when they checked in, with how neat and tidy they were, weren't they? And like, you'd nearly feel bad walking into either of their rooms because like.
You'd feel a lot worse walking into my room.
Your room with the Haribo and the pillow. You clown.
The routine, Dunners, the routine.
Stick to the routine. But you know what? I
right.
read a great a line by Sir Steve Redgrave. I remember reading his book, and he'd a line in it that he had trained all in for this Olympics. The whole journey was kind of close on 6 years, if you know what I mean. So there was 6 years work, and he had these lucky shorts. And as he put them on, he put his foot through it, and they ripped. And he had this realization that they're gone. And then straight away it kicked in. Like, that's a piece of material. It does. And his line was, superstitions hold you back. And I was there, that is so true. It's nearly like a bit of an excuse that you become reliant on a pair of jocks or different
Well, you kind of do have to change your mindset on that. But at the same time, we've all been there, and you always think back, oh, that good game I had. I think it was down to, it does play tricks in your mind. But listen, we've got through a good few questions there.
Are you happy now? Are you and the listeners happy, Tommy?
I hope so. We'll do it again because I enjoy it. That's where the crack is. To hell with hearing about Munster falling short and the thriller against Northampton.
Jeez, it was good old school rugby, wasn't it?
They're going to be playing. It was. I actually thought, I'd like to pull it back the way Jack Crowley. Great to see him back playing well. Played bloody well. Good on him. That's going to make it tight for 10.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely is. But the kick from the edge, to knock that over, and then to have another big moment in the race when we're, like, gone on the clock. And
Yeah.
He
That's
was
good.
great.
Good for Ireland. Really putting it up. It's going to be a really good battle between him and Sam Brendergast for 10. Or Kieran Frawley. La Rochelle, let's talk about that quickly.
Yeah.
Munster, La Rochelle, round of 16. Class.
It's kind of great, isn't it? I know straight away, like, people are going. Like, they're not even waiting on tickets. And it's different. Like, it's because it's ROG, and it's because, like, he is loved, man. You know what I mean?
La ROG Shell.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be good for, I know this might sound a bit condescending, but to them, he's just their coach. You know what I mean? I know he's probably rubbing off, and they're seeing that side of him. But Munster's home, and we know him inside out. I think it'll be good for La Rochelle to see how loved he is. Do you remember there a few years ago when he popped up on the screen in wherever it was, he was getting booed? Like, there ain't no chance of that happening. You know what I mean?
Chance. No. Listen, I think it's going to be amazing. It'd be a weird one for him, though. With the histories. Have Munster played La Rochelle since he's been there? No. Okay, so this is you don't think it'd be weird? He'll be out there to do a job
at all, man. He's a winner. He's an absolute winner. And do you know what will probably be good because the man he is as well? I wouldn't be surprised if he sat down with Leams and Mike Prendergast and Mossy Lawler.
Oh, definitely. Invites him around to the house.
But not even that. And went, this is how we tried to open you up. You know what I mean? This is what we saw.
I loved that Jess actually commented on the post that we did last week about him and Eddie dressing in the same gear.
I didn't see that. Good on you, Jess. If only you were dressing him, Jess, he would have been safe.
Munster, of course, they're going to be playing against the Dragons this weekend. The URC is back. Leinster are going to be taking on the Stormers. But Leinster last weekend, against Bath, like second seed, they're going to be playing Harlequins the next round.
And they got the favourable side of the draw,
they really did. They actually have nailed that side of the draw.
Yeah, it is. Look, you'd see them at least. Like, what could you see happening there? Maybe in Northampton in the semi-final?
Yeah, maybe. Well, they'd probably play Glasgow next, potentially, then Northampton. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'd say they'd be delighted to be staying like the opposite side of the pool from Bordeaux, Toulouse, La Rochelle and Castres, I think it is. 4 French teams, obviously Munster and Ulster over that side as well. To be delighted with themselves.
Yeah, you see what Toulouse did to Leicester, who went fully for it, to be fair to them. Leicester respected the competition, sent a really good team, went for it, and then
got handed it.
Absolutely.
80 points. Holy
But I wonder,
crap.
is that what we're looking at with Leinster and Harlequins when it comes about? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Can Leinster put them to the sword like that?
Well, with the attack side of it, you know what I mean? You question it really, wouldn't you? Like, I know there's been a big emphasis on the defence, but we haven't seen that kind of ruthless edge in attack.
I'd be interested to see, Well, listen, we know Leinster are going to go deep in the competition. One thing that did stick out for me, and I know it's probably a bit old now, is that Leinster put up a post on Instagram. I think it had Gibson Park and Ross Byrne on it, and they actually took down the comments on it. And listen, they're 13 wins in a row. I can see how there's a bit of frustration. Like, they're getting maybe a bit of abuse. I don't know what the abuse was that made them have to take down the comments on it. Was like they said it was directed towards a player and the coach. So could that be Leo Cullen, Ross Byrne, Gibson Park? Who knows? But I don't know. It's sad to see. Listen, social media is a toxic place, but I always thought, like, and people kind of give their air their grievances or whatever else, but I think when it gets personal, that's a bit too deep. I don't like it.
Yeah, agreed. And but then again, people should be allowed comment on certain things, Tommy, isn't it? Of course, I'm not saying be abusive in any way, or you know what I mean.
Well, we don't know what was said.
Okay,
and this is the first time they've taken it's the first time they've taken the comments down, so it must have been pretty bad, man. It must have been bad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Did you see the double yellow card? Because I'm interested.
The Don over here. The Don with the Don. All for free speech.
TikTok is gone in D4. Do you know what I mean? Leave the people chat if they're not happy with you. Hear it. You know what I mean? I honestly think, because I'm going to say it, because Leinster are used to everyone cheerleading them, they get a bit odd. They've all the media with their pom poms going. Ooh,
have you
look
a
at us,
fake profile? Is this you? You're starting.
It's not me at all. I wouldn't be any bit abusive to players. I think all of them that go out there, honestly, are gladiators and stuff. But don't hide away from the fact that, you know what I mean, you're at an unbelievable advantage at the moment, and you are the envy of everyone with the amount of money you have. So, like, you know what I mean? People aren't going to be upset about it. You know, I'd say Man City get the same grief.
Yeah, but you don't, like, we want to separate rugby from football. But listen, I do agree. People should be able to say, when it gets personal. And obviously something ticked them off that thought, hold on a second, this is going a little bit too far. Let's move on.
Hold on, before we move on, I want to chat about the red card, because everyone got frustrated by the bat double yellow, and I think I have a different take on it than most.
What happened?
Basically, their loose head, Benno, basically, on his first carry, Gibson Park collides and hits heads with him, so he gets a yellow card in the lead up to their first score. But then on the 55th minute, there's a scrum, because the kind of ball goes over the back, kind of hits off the ref, Leinster's ball. But to be fair to you, man, Slimani, oh my goodness. I know we're all chanting about Barrett and ROG.
Slimani, the prop, their second tight head prop, who's now called into the French squad because he's
incredible, Tommy.
Yeah,
he was basically folding a man up like a deck chair.
So what did the guy get? So penalised?
Then he got another yellow, and off he goes. 2 yellows,
red card.
You're gone. 55
for a
minutes
scrum
in. Scrum offence. And I do you know what? I actually think this is good. I know the ref was
harsh. If you're getting your ass handed to you, you can't get yellow carded.
You 100% can get a yellow carded. This is the problem with the game, Tommy. This is why we're all getting so wishy-washy with the rules. And I think this is great. Bin him, or like send him off if he isn't executing his craft of being able, like, you should have seen it. It was actually probably even dangerous. That ref did him a favour getting him out of there. Like, genuinely, I'd say as soon as his ass hit the dugout, he was thinking, thank God I don't have 25 minutes more of that animal absolutely bending me.
Do see tight heads sometimes when there's such a mismatch. You do have to feel so sorry, but it was a young fella, like,
yeah. And look, he
like,
got
why did Van Gran maybe should have brought somebody else on? Maybe he didn't have anything to bring on.
And like that lies with the coaches as well. Like, think of it, when you come to the soccer or hurling, they always identify someone that might be on a yellow card, and it wasn't as if this was a real surprise. Like, look at all the scrums. He honestly inhales him in every scrum. He really did give him an awful time.
God help him. Slimani, like, do you mean he's an absolute, and then they probably will bring on Furlong after.
Yeah.
After. Do you mean, like, strength and depth they have, like, it's insane.
But the thing is, Tommy, my point is, I know everyone will kind of go, oh, harsh, but if we're to make the scrummaging hard, then there needs to be punishments. I actually think the same with this crap rule about it. You can throw it in crooked. Why not just make it a penalty if you throw it in crooked? If you make that a penalty, so you didn't execute it, it was crooked by you, even though there's no one in the air, it's a penalty against you, and now they can bang you 50 metres.
I think actually your suggestion that they have to jump, you have to compete. It's a line out, you have to compete no matter what. That's what I think.
Yeah.
We'll agree to differ. Go on, let's move on. Connacht obviously are playing against Glasgow. That's going to be a tough match for Connacht. They're obviously top seeds in the Challenge
They
Cup.
have a lovely run though.
They do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. And to be fair, Ulster, who I thought might be going through to the Challenge Cup, squeezed through last seed in the Champions Cup round of 16. Do they get paid extra for that?
I hope they get something.
I hope they do, because they have to go away from home to bloody Bordeaux. 10-0 scoring 6 tries. I mean, I'm thinking, for God's sake.
But can I ask you, would you rather be in it? You'd rather be in...
No, I wouldn't.
Tommy, fella. Wash out your filthy mouth for saying that.
No, I don't. Because, listen, Ulster, as I said last time, of course, getting the Champions Cup is amazing, right? But Ulster haven't won a trophy since 2006. I would love to see that they could win the Champions Cup, but realistically, it doesn't look like they are. Connacht are top seeds in the Challenge Cup. Ulster know that they can beat Connacht. Therefore, they know that they could go all the way potentially in the Challenge Cup, win a trophy, give the supporters a big day out in a semi-final, a final, potentially lift a trophy. In my opinion, Ulster Rugby probably completely disagree. But in my opinion, I would love to see Ulster lift some silverware or be within a shout, and having to go away from home to play against Bordeaux, who are scoring tries insanely at the minute. I just think, for I think one win, Dunners, they got one win and they've qualified.
Yeah, it is fairly
Mickey Mouse.
But let's be honest though. Like we're saying that about one win, but it's still better than Bat. If you look at the budget Bat have probably over Ulster. Like Bat are now playing Bowe in the Challenge Cup. You know what I mean? So I don't think we credit them a little bit.
Ulster, it was a super win against Exeter, 52 points. They were 12-0 down. I was thinking, oh, here we go again. But what Richie Murphy's got them doing, they're playing well at home, and fair play, you know.
One thing though, Tommy, I think you're in a different spot. That idea, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you don't know the way competitions will go. Just like at least Connacht were able to map it out the way they could navigate it, because they've been in it from the start. I think you're better off learning, going to play all the best. Like you will have
get to knockout rugby, Dunners. Get to the knockout stages. Get knocked out by Bordeaux. Hopefully they don't. I just don't think you're learning anything.
Yeah, but you're playing the best there, man. You know what I mean? You're playing the best, and you get to see what good is. That's if you're young and 23.
They play Leinster all the time. They do.
But maybe it's 2 in. This is like you look
go
at the
play
leagues.
Against Bowe away from home and actually have a chance of beating these French teams. That's what I want.
Yeah. I disagree. I think Europe's the main one, man. I think you're in the right spot, and you're right. It is going to be very difficult, but it's very difficult for anyone on the road. Do you see a whole lot? Do you see anyone that could go there and go on the road in the last kind of 16 and surprise anyone?
I think actually La Rochelle are the only team to ever win away from home in this round of 16, and Munster certainly ain't going to do that. So listen,
there you go.
It's going to be a cracker.
Put it up on the team wall, lads. Put it up on the team wall
from Tommy Bowe. It's like that's going to be some fuel for those boys. Listen, thanks, Dunners. We got through loads of questions there. We got through loads of rugby as well. And of course, next week it's Six Nations week as well. So it's going to be huge excitement. I think we're going to probably have an English player as well to talk to as well. And lots to look forward to.
Good on you, Tommy.
Cheers. The show's brought to you again by 15 Kings. Thank you for their support. Check them out, xvkings.com. Have a good week.
Can I get some shampoo?
Poor Donna.